Um, what is going down, guys? It's MC Noble, DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to another stream. And the announcements, they just keep coming in. And I just thought, why not make a stream and just sort of explain everything that is sort of happening, because there's a few things that keep happening, and a few announcements that I keep making. And I've sort of, like, musically wise, I'm sort of quite busy at the moment, and I'm doing a lot of different things, and it can get a little confusing as to what he's doing next. So I thought, if I sort of just do one stream, it might just sort of make it a bit easier to sort of let you guys know exactly what I'm doing, rather than having all these different streams scattered all over the place and thinking, when was he doing such and such, or another announcement, like, what else, we can't remember what else he's doing, that kind of thing. So I suppose we'll start off with, like, bookings and gigs, because they're like the sort of like the main thing. So next week I'm down in Birmingham with the Core Vibes, and I'm emceeing on the mic, and I'm looking forward to it. Should be quite good. And it was originally, I was supposed to be doing it in April, but it kind of got like the date got brought forward due to some other reasons that was going on in April. So that should be a shed load of fun. Great lineup, local talent from around the UK, some up and comers, some people that maybe are just starting to break through a little bit and getting a bit sort of well known within the scene. So it should be quite a good little thing. So that's quite good. Then we jump to April, and I've got the Clubland Vibes. So I'm looking forward to this one. I really am, actually, because if there's one thing I do love, it's my club music. It's like Clubland. It has been like a big part of my life for years, and I have grown up listening to a lot of them Clubland tunes, like Entrance and Ultra Beats. So they were like a big inspiration for me, sort of growing up. And we had the annual Clublands that came out. One of my favourites as I was growing up was actually Clubland 18. There was a couple of tracks on the disc too, and I just really loved them. There was Headhunters with Something About You, and there was also XNRG. They did a remix of Seek Bromance, and it was just absolutely belting. And then there was a Steve Aoki and a Man Van Helden did a song called Brat, and I said it like that because it is literally spelt with loads of R's, so it's like so anyway, cutting the story short, there was some bangers on there. So Clubland has been a big inspiration for me over the years, and it's to be able to play like like a Clubland event as such. Like, it's not the real Clubland brand, but it's like, it's like a night that sort of is focused around the Clubland type of music. So it's nice that I'm going to be going on stage, and I'm going to be playing some, some belting tunes, and I can't wait. So I'm doing like a Clubland sort of donk set. I've been getting right into my bounce lately, so that is something that is absolutely fantastic. I did forget that I've got the DNA, so that is the weekend after the Core Vibes. So the Core Vibes is the 11th of March. The DNA, so DNA is on the 19th of March, so that's a Friday, and I'm going back to back with DJ Overdrive, my good friend Kenny from Hull. We're doing a B2B set. We've been sort of planning it. We've had two sort of run throughs over it, and it's a belting set, to be honest. There's some really good tunes. The only thing is, sometimes I do prefer doing a solo set as opposed to a B2B. But I do like doing B2Bs as well, because it's nice to work with somebody different, and it's nice to sort of see the style that they play as well. So I am looking forward to it. But I just feel sometimes within a B2B, you're not always doing your full potential, because you're sort of like taking it in turns with another guy. So I'm just kind of a little bit sometimes like, like I do like doing it solo. I am a solo kind of guy when it does come to mixing, but I do like doing B2Bs and giving them a try. And it's nice to work with different people. I've not gone B2B with the Overdrive before. I've only ever like mixed at his house and he's maybe gone on after me or I've gone on after him. If we've been having a house party kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be enjoyable, and I can't wait to go down and take place. Like I said, there's some belters in the set. I won't tell you exactly what because I don't want to spoil it in case you do decide to come to the gig. Then the Clubland one is on the 15th of April. It's that damned and doomed 15th of April. If there's one thing I am not sick of this year, it is the 11th of March, the 12th of March, and the 15th of April. No matter what goes down and what goes on that date, there's always something else that you get asked to do. You get asked to go somewhere, and it's always on either one of them dates. And it's so annoying. And the annoying thing is I have to keep reminding my friend his mind. Like, no offences to him, but he just does not know his dates. Like, on Monday, he'll get a message and he'll say, do you want to come to here on the 15th of April? So he'll say, bruv, he'll ring me up, bruv, I'm going to so-and-so on the 15th of April. I'm like, no, you're not. The 15th of it, not the 15th of April. He's like, why? I'm like, it's the Clubland night in Hull. And he's like, oh, shit. And then the following day, he'll get asked for something else the same day, and then he'll be like, bro, I'm doing this on the 15th of April, and I'm like, no, you're not. And he always forgets that there's something on the 15th of April. He's like, why, what's happening on the 15th? Like, he's got no clue. And then I jog his memory. So like, there's so many things that are happening on that same date, and it's just so annoying. So that's really annoying that things keep happening, because it would be good if we could do them all, but because they're on the same day, it's just like a hard thing to do. So obviously, to cut the story short, it is Clubland, but there is a lot of other things going on as well. I mean, TFI Friday, they've announced a night at the Doncaster Warehouse with some pretty big names. So I know quite a few people will now probably go to that as well, which is a little bit of a shame, because the up and comers, they do deserve a little bit more of a chance, and people that are trying to break through, it's hard to break through. Like, if there's a local night on and then a big night comes on with like people that are well known and they've been signed to labels for years, and they've made some of the number one best hardcore tracks, and then boom, everybody goes to see them. And I think like the up and comers should get a little bit of a like a chance just to push through a little bit more. So we'll see how the event goes. I mean, it is in a different town, but there's normally one or two like hardcore heads and like rave heads from Hull that travel through to Doncaster. I mean, I do it myself, but we'll just see. Hopefully there's no like effect, hopefully, because it's focused more around actual Clubland itself, and we're going to play a lot of the like commercial and cheesy Clubland as well. It might bring in sort of that different crowd as opposed to the hardcore warehouse ravers, so we might not actually do too bad. So we'll just have to see exactly how it goes. And then after that, my only confirmed booking for the rest of the year after that up to now is I've got the Great British Rave Off in September. So I think it's the 9th of September, if I remember rightly. That's the only, that's the next, but last confirmed booking so far this year. So obviously, bookings for me at the moment, they're not like mega coming in, but they are coming in. So it's not like I'm doing something every weekend, and sometimes I'm having maybe like a gap of 3 weeks where I'm not gigging. And like I say, after the Clubland one in April, oh yeah, sorry, I'm forgetting as well, the Stomping on the 21st of May. Do you know what? I'm so rubbish with these streams. I'm supposed to make it easier for you, and I'm probably just making it more confusing. Sorry. The 21st of May, I'm back with Stomping. I don't even know how I forgot that, but I'm back down in the room 2 business. So that'll be fun. Stomping's always fun. Then it's the Great British Rave Off. So after May, there is no more bookings until September. So June, July, and August, I've got nothing at the moment. But that doesn't mean to say that they won't come in. I mean, there's going to be like things that will probably come in. Up until then, I've entered a few competitions as well, so we might, like the Critical Beats one, you never know, I might win that, I might not, I might get asked to play some event somewhere, you never know, the bookings might come in, and we'll just see exactly how the year pans out. But as far as bookings go, so for me, it's March, April, May, and September, and there's only one booking in each of them months apart from March. So in March there's 2, in April there's 1, in May there's 1, in September there's 1. I am booked in August for something, but that has not yet been announced, so I can't obviously tell you at the moment what that is. So it's not really a booking at the moment, but it kind of is. So like I can't take anything else on that day. I just can't tell you what it is yet because it's not been announced. It's a little bit too far, a little bit too further in the distance for it to be announced just yet. And like I say, it'll be another fun one, so I'm looking forward to it. And as far as this Clubland Vibes night goes, I'm guessing if it does well, they'll be doing like some more of these. We'll just have to see. I'm not sure whether I play any future ones or not. We'll have to see. But it should be a good little night. So that sort of gets the gigging side of things out of the way. And other than, apart from my gigs and stuff, I've got a few things to announce. So we'll start with the sort of like newest one and the one I can sort of talk the most about. So just over the past couple of days, I've joined forces with a brand called Bounce Force, and it's a new brand that is sort of focused around like up and coming DJs, and there's going to be lots of things happening. So people are going to be like, like sharing tracks that they've been making, and there's going to be live streams. There's going to be like sharing mixes that they've recorded, and there's going to be some possible events coming in the very near future. So I can't tell you exactly when, I can't tell you where, but there's some things going on behind the scenes, and I've kind of like hopped on and sort of like jumped on board really, and I've kind of just said, look, I'm happy. This is something that interests me. When someone's trying to do good for the scene and they're trying to like help the up and comers, and if someone's trying to start a local night and they've got a good little idea in mind, I do like to give it my help. And then obviously if I feel like it's not going to go anywhere, or if I feel like it's not going to benefit me, or I'm just wasting my time, then obviously I would I'll pull away. But you've got to give things a try, and this could work out quite well. A nice new little bounce night might come on the horizon that that does quite well, and there might be some good things to come out of it. You never know, it might just grow as a thing. So I've jumped on board. I'm buzzed. There's a lot of people that have jumped on board as well and got involved. Some people that are producing themselves, and they've done quite well for themselves with some releases on Bounce Heaven, and it's great to be able to, I guess, like work alongside them and sort of be in like a group chat with them and just have a bit of banter and get to know them a little bit more, because it's yes, people, we lost power. So yeah, so obviously it started with me going on the Bounce 7 store, coming across these bangers, looking into the artists, and then like adding them on Facebook and stuff. So it's nice to know that I could possibly be working with some of these. So that's one good thing sort of like to come out of this. So we'll see where the Bounce Force brand goes. We'll see what happens. So that's like a good thing to sort of get involved with. The next thing is I've started well, I've been going somewhere on a Tuesday, and it's to do with this group that I've been going to, which was recommended to me via the job centre, which is I go to a group at a place called the Goodwin, and basically I started off by going to these classes, and it was sort of like building on confidence, and I went to this like little group, and like I say, it was sort of like building on confidence and sort of just like helping get ready to sort of hopefully get back into the world of work. And but they focus a little bit more on sort of actually more like what you want to do with your life as opposed to just, you know, getting a job, if that makes sense. So like for example, like if there's a sort of like dream or career that you want to go down, like they do sort of like help you out in that sort of sense, and like ways that, you know, they'll sort of like look into maybe how you could go about fulfilling some of that dream. Obviously some people's dreams, you know, are just a little bit like a bit easier said than done kind of thing. Like mine, for example, you know, it's very hard, like, for me to obviously make a living out of music, but I do quite well, and you know, they've been very supportive and very helpful, as opposed to saying like, you know, I mean, you could just say like, you're not going to get nowhere as a DJ, you know, just go on Indeed and apply. Do you know what I mean? So like they do in some sense that, you know, they've helped me a lot in that sense. So I started going to this group, and as we progressed, we sort of spoke about, you know, what sort of where we'd want to go next in our sort of like, you know, do we, you know, what do we kind of want to do, sort of like going forward, you know, does anybody want to get into like retail, or does anybody want to sort of go into like factory work, or does anybody want to do something in like creative and digital, which is where like sort of like music, photography, you know, that kind of thing comes in. So obviously, I sort of like, well, yeah, I want to do whatever I can with music. Although I am happy and open to obviously take on other work as well, as I know you can't just, you know, it's hard to live off of music. But if there was any way I could like go on to some like music courses and stuff, then I would definitely like to give them options a go. So I moved on to this other Goodwin building, which is where I started working on my sort of like creative and digital side of things, and this is where it started to improve. So I've been going to a group every Tuesday now, like a new class. It's like going down to a pub basically, and I meet up with some band members and some other musicians, and we're doing an events management course, and basically there's going to hopefully be some things to come out of the back of it, but it's like an events management course. So once I like go through the course, I'll have some knowledge of like, you know, like putting events on and stuff like that, whether it be like a music event, or whether it be like a different kind of event. You know, I will have some form of knowledge of being able to like do something within events management, and I also get to like just jam out and like do like music practice, and I could learn to play guitar if I want. I could learn to play the drums, keyboard. Although I can play keyboard a tiny little bit. You know, you can just work along your sort of like you know, just brushing up on like your music skills as well. So I go there on a Tuesday. I get to have a little jam, and then we do some stuff about the events management course, and I get to come out to some events and see how some events work and help out, whether it be just like, you know, sort of working on the door and taking the money and people's tickets in, or whether it be just like helping, you know, setting up the band equipment and stuff. So it's quite interesting for me to do, because, you know, I come from like a DJ and rave kind of scene. So obviously I know to set decks up, I know how to sound check. As far as decks go, I know how to mic check. But obviously, like when you, I guess sound checking like a band and guitars and drums, it works a little bit different. So, you know, it was something that I thought, well, you know what, I'd be quite interested to learn. Although I'm probably never gonna rock out and be, join a band. And I don't, in some sense, I don't really have a fulfilled interest at the moment to like learn to play the guitar or anything. I'd like to play the drums, and I'd like to learn more about playing the keyboard and stuff. Possibly a ukulele, but I've never really been too interested in guitar. So but it's interesting just to learn and watch like how these things are set up. And like I say, it's something a little different, so I've been enjoying that. And it's some things might come of it. So all I can say is keep your eyes peeled, because I might be making some announcements. And I'm quite happy to be able to make these announcements when I'm able to. But I'm going through this course, and there might be some things coming out of it towards the end of the course. I'm not sure how long I'll be going for. I'm not sure if even like I finished the events management side of things, if I can still just go and jam with them on a Tuesday, or I've got no illiterate clue, or if once I've sort of finished doing this sort of like course thing, if that's sort of it with them, like they won't need me anymore as such, which will be gutting, because I quite enjoy it. Like like it gives me something to look forward to, like once a week, and it's not just sitting in a classroom. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm going somewhere. It's almost like I'm part of like a little club. I'm part of like a little team, and we just go and jam out for a few hours in the afternoon, and it's just quite a fun thing to do. So I'm quite enjoying going at the moment. I'll be completely honest. Now, the next thing, I can't say too much about this at all, but I started going somewhere else last week, sorry, and I go back this week. I think this is my final week that I'm aware of, but I'm doing something. I'm doing something quite big, quite massive. Well, when I say big, I'd more rephrase the big to massive. And I've been doing a few little hints over Facebook and stuff, but because this is so big, I just cannot announce it until like I can announce it, and we didn't know how it was gonna plan out either. So like I didn't want to announce anything and then get people's hopes up for something that might not, essentially happen. But all I can really say is I started going somewhere last week. I went last Wednesday, and then I go again on Monday, I go again on Wednesday, and I go again on Thursday, and hopefully after that I should hopefully be more or less finished there with what I'm doing. But I've like started some. All I can say is I've started some training, but I can't say like what for. But it's obviously music related, and if it does come to anything decent, which I'm hoping it will. I'm hoping it's going to come to some good things. It will be an absolutely massive, massive announcement for me. And it's something that I've actually always wanted to do for years as well. And even as a kid, I remember I used to like play and pretend I was doing it. And like that's the scale of like how much I've sort of wanted to do it. And then I've kind of done it sort of briefly in the past, but not on the level that I'm doing it now. So like in the past, it was more like sort of it wasn't playing, but it wasn't sort of on the professional level of how I'm going to be doing it this time. Like this time, it's kind of doing it proper. Last time was kind of sort of partly doing it, but it wasn't doing it, if that makes sense. It's hard to say without like giving it away, but I've done stuff like with it online in the past, and it's not the same as how I'm going to be doing it. So all I can say is keep your eyes peeled, and when I can announce it, I will be making one hell of a massive announcement, and I will be like shocking the whole entire sort of like community of people that follow me. Do you know what I mean? So I'll be making like a huge, huge announcement that hopefully will like shock loads of people, and I'll be like, no way has as if he's doing that. Do you know what I mean? So that's all I can really say on the matter, because I don't want to give out away. But the only reason why is because I'm doing some training, and if I wasn't picking up the training like good enough, um, or for example, if I wasn't doing well, or if we was going to sort of discover that maybe this isn't for me, or I just start understanding it, then obviously I would have been making an announcement for for nothing really, and it would have all been like getting people's hopes up. If I'd have said like I'm doing this, and then I actually struggle at doing it, and they sort of say, look, this is not for you. You're not, you're not cut out to do this kind of thing, so we won't be going no further. And then obviously I'd have let loads of people down. So that's why I've kind of not announced anything. But I wanted to tease people because it's that good and it's that exciting. So, but other than that, I'm keeping up the production. I've got a few tracks in the pipeline, but it's very hard to get tracks done because I work for like Lehman Productions, and the Lehman himself is a very busy man. He's always like going somewhere, like he's away at an event tonight, and he's just always somewhere. And then he's always like, like, because he does photographs and stuff, so like during the week he's always editing the pictures, and then sometimes they take ages. If he's taken loads of pictures, he's got to go through them, pick out the bad ones, get rid of them, narrow it down to the good ones, and then narrow it down again to sort of like what's going to be sort of like, acceptable to post on Facebook, because there's limits to how many pictures you can add to one post at a time. So sometimes he has to do them in parts. So like to sort of get productive, it doesn't happen that often because we just we get so busy. I mean, I go to my appointments and things quite a lot now, and then like I say, he's always busy like doing one thing or another. And we just don't always get time to like spend a good few hours like recording a track, which I feel a little bit good. Like that sort of bugs me a bit because sometimes like like I'll sit on FL and I'll knock something up, and I'm like it's a tune that say myself and that the laymen are gonna do, and I'll need him to like maybe he's gonna add a vocal to it, or maybe like we're doing the track together, so I don't want to like go too far ahead and sort of like make the tune without him when we're sort of like obviously doing it together. But it'll get to a point where I get so far, and then I'm just sat there, and and the tune gets sat there for ages, and I think like, because in my mind the idea is still really good, and like I want to get sort of like I want to get I want to get on with it and get it done, and I want to get new music released and out there. And sometimes it's like I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and sometimes it gets a little bit annoying because I think like, well, I can't go like any further with the tune until maybe the layman records that vocal, or for example till he adds his bit, and then we can start sort of like get ready to sort of advertise we've got new music coming. So sometimes I only go so far, and then I get a little stuck because I need the next person's help, or sometimes I need him to maybe just have ears on a tune, and he's been busy all day, and he gets tired, and then the last thing he wants to do is start breaking down the tune, and do you know what I mean? So it's hard to get productive, but we've got tunes out there, and we are going to try and get on them. Obviously I understand why we don't, but it's just sometimes it's annoying because I do want to get I do want to get our sort of like uncompleted tunes done. And sometimes we have ideas, and they only go as far as ideas, and and then I think like, well, let's work on this idea, and then we don't, and then the months go by, and we've never done anything with it, and it just gets a little bit annoying when like when we're sitting on incomplete projects, and we both know ourselves that we need to get them finished, or we need to record such and such, we need to get a vocal done, we need to get this done, that done, and then obviously, we just get so busy that we can't, and you don't always feel like doing it at say like 10 at night when you've had such a busy day. I know the feeling, but you know, there's stuff definitely coming. There's tunes definitely on the way. So just basically just keep the eyes peeled, I guess, and take it from there. But anyway, people, that is going to about do it for the stream. That's like everything that's up and coming at the moment. Obviously, I'm open to bookings, so if I do get booked, I'll keep things sort of like I'll keep announcing things when I can. One thing I did forget to announce is I have actually got a booking on the 8th of April as well, but it's not like it's not a club gig. It's I'm doing one of them birthday parties again. Now I was supposed to do one this weekend. My friend's car was broke down, and I didn't. It wasn't going to be ready in time, essentially. Um, and then we were supposed to do it today actually. And to cut the story short, we didn't end up doing it because I was for me I didn't think properly. I was upfront and honest with the guy, and I said, look, the cars, we've got a car in the garage, and it might not be ready in time. So I was kind of, in my own way, I was trying to do the decent thing, and I was like telling him in advance and giving him chance like to get someone else to, to sort of do the music. But he was quite understanding, and he was like, well, let us know tomorrow, definitely, whether you're going to do it or not. And then it gives me a chance to get someone else. So obviously, I spoke to my friend Lee about it, and he said, "Well, why don't we still do it and get a taxi? Because we'll get paid for doing it, so it'll sort of like cover the taxi, if you like." So I was like, "All right, if you want to do it like that, let's do it." I just never thought about it, to be fair. Putting all your gear in a taxi, and will a taxi driver want like about 3 boxes worth of music gear being shoved into his taxi? But then I suppose he's getting paid for it, isn't he? So we decided that that's what we was gonna do, and I basically went back to him and said, look, we're gonna do it, blah blah blah, and sadly he'd already got somebody else, which it was kind of my fault, my bad. I kind of lost us the booking by, obviously saying, we didn't think we'd have the transport to get there. So it was kind of my own fault. But at the time, I was just doing the decent thing because, imagine if you booked a DJ, and they let you down like right at the last minute. Like, just think of that panic. You've got to try and find someone else. So I just thought, at least if I let him know in advance, he can decide what to do. Obviously, it would be up to him if he wanted to sort of, still have us and sort of wait to see if the car was finished, or if he would like to just, look about sort of on the off chance that obviously, that we might not be able to do it. So could someone else be sort of like a backup plan? But sadly, he found somebody else. I don't know if he had to pay more for him or what, but he, sadly he got somebody else, so we lost it. But we've got one again on the 8th of April. It's a nighttime thing. I'm quite looking forward to that one actually. So we'll just see how it goes. But all I can say is, like I say, keep an eye out. So like, comment, share. We'll see you all next time.